We're going to stand with our feet and our ankles together. I'm going to come off the mat. And I want you to take your feet out at the front. And I want you to draw your inner thighs together and really feel your ankles drawing together. I want you to zip up through your abdominals and tuck your tailbone under. Now, I don't want you to squeeze your butt cheeks, okay? I don't want you to engage your glutes here. I want you to tuck that tailbone under and draw the abdominals in. Feel the shoulder blades lovely and wide as they glide down your back. And we're just going to go into a little balance to start. So to balance, I want you to breathe in, draw your abs in. And when we breathe in, I want you to draw the abs, but then squeeze your sit bones. And we push up onto the heels. And we lower, bringing those heels up on the balls of your feet, and then bring those heels together. So again, feeling lovely and long through the crown of the head. Breathe in, squeeze up those glutes up as you come onto the balls of your feet, and bring your heels back down. And a couple more times, come up onto the balls of your feet and down, up onto the balls of your feet and down. Take the heels out so your feet are in a parallel position. Lovely. Now I want you to have a soft bend in your knees over your middle toe. Scoop through the abdominals, reach the right arm away, palm facing down. And then I want you to turn the palm to the ceiling. Using those abdominals, get that reach through the fingertips. Reach right over your head. Now your other hand can be on your hip. Or for a deeper stretch, you can have it down by your side. Few breaths in there. Use those abdominals and the breath to come up. Straighten the legs, arm by your side. Breathe in, bend those knees on the out breath, send the other arm away, palm facing down. Lead with those fingertips, turn the whole of the arm so the palm's facing up. Draw that arm up in a really lovely strong movement, arms to your side, reach over. The other arm, as we did before, can be on your hip or hang down. Breathe in. I want you to feel lovely and long through that top arm. Use those abs, come over. One more time. Legs are straight. Breathe in, bend those legs. Breathe out, reach that arm away. Turn the arm up and reach over. Now you can stay with your hand on your hip, or you can bring your hand around the wrist of that top arm and really reach away. Really feel yourself drawing up from your hips all the way up to the side of your arms. Breathe in and use those abdominals on the out breath. Come up, arms by your side. One more time. Breathe in, scoop through the abs. Reach the left arm away. Knees bent. Turn the arm over and reach up. A lovely strong move through the whole arm. If you want, you can draw that wrist away. Breathing into that stretch. Use those abs on the out breath. We come up and bring the arms down. Take the hands to the shoulders. We're going to circle first through the right arm. It actually doesn't matter if you've started with the other arm. Now I want your whole underside of your feet to be in contact with the mat. Keep going. I want you to keep pressing away to the outside of your feet. Couple more times and we go the other direction. So I really want to work our session tonight, but I don't want to go too fast because it is quite hot and muggy. Both arms circle. Draw the elbows together, circle around. And when the elbows come behind, I want you to feel as if you're drawing your shoulder blades together and around. Almost as if you're trying to get the elbows to touch behind. What I don't want you to do is I'm doing your bellies to push out. So use those abdominals. Keep your torso lovely and still. The gorgeous big circles through the arms back round the other way. Keep pressing away to the outsides of your feet and draw those abs in. A couple more circles and arms down by your side, and we'll come to the edge of the mat. I'm just going to drop my camera down a little tad. Lovely. Okay. We are again going to make sure our feet are lovely and flat on the mat. I want you to breathe in, scoot through the abs, bring your chin to the chest on the out breath. We're only going to do a couple of roll downs, so let's make them matter this evening. Really feel the space between every single vertebra as you roll down. Scoop those abs in, get a gorgeous shape in the lower bottom part of your spine. Make sure your knees are quite soft, no locking out through the legs. As you come all the way down, if you're tight in your hammies or your lower back, just bend your knees there, okay? And that's absolutely fine. Then take your hands, the palms of your hands to the mat. We're going to walk our hands forward. We are naughtily and cheekily going to come straight into a plank. Draw the abs to your spine, hands underneath your shoulder blades, shoulders drawing down your back. Feel the top of the crown of the head reaching away in the opposite direction to your heels. Really reach your heels one way and the crown of the head the other way. Drawing your belly button to your spine, feeling gorgeous and strong. Now, you can bring your knees to the floor here, or keep that plank. I'm just demonstrating bringing your knees to the floor, and that's absolutely fine as well. In fact, it's a gorgeous starting move for you. It's your half plank. So if you're in your full plank or if you're in your half plank, I want you to bend those elbows in towards your waist, come down, breathe in, push up into a press up. You can bend your knees or keep your legs straight. We're going to walk our hands back into our feet. Now, if you were on your knees, you lengthen one leg out, then the other with the toes curled under, and then roll up. Come all the way up. Really enjoy that roll up. Keep the head lovely and heavy. It's going to come up last. So you come all the way up. Draw the shoulder blades back and down. Breathe in, chin to chest. I want to see your roll downs. So top marks for all of those who are side on so I can see you. Really nice. Roll down one vertebra at a time. Really nice. Nice shape and cyst there on your back. Whoop, there's Alison's arms looking gorgeous. Come down. Don't lock out in the knees, Mary. You be careful. Really nice. Nice. Bend your knees if you need to, or put your hands onto the mat. Really, before you start moving, take that breath in. Get ready to get that energy up through your arms. Breathe in. I want you to walk those hands out. Come into your plank. When you're in your plank, take those lovely breaths in through the nose and out through your mouth. If you want to take your knees to the floor, you are absolutely welcome to do that. Lower your bottom, Paula, otherwise looking lovely. That's it. Now you'll feel it. Draw the belly button to your spine. Alison, bring your knees to the floor because I want you to just build that strength, like all of us, through your shoulder girdle, because in 6 weeks' time you will be doing a comfortable long plank, and I want you to really start getting that shape. Now, for all of you, if you're in the half plank, Alison, the half plank, or if you want to do your full plank, you bend your elbows in towards your waist. Lovely, and slowly you hover and you take a breath in, draw your abs to the spine and you press up. Oh, what a start to the session. If you had your knees on the floor, take one leg out, then the other, so you're in your full. Draw the abs and send your bottoms up to the ceiling. Everyone walk your hands in a little bit further so you're in a downward dog position. I want you to feel that gorgeous strength coming up through your hands, up to the shoulder blades, all the way down. Feel your heels reaching off the floor and your tailbone stretching, stretching, stretching up to the ceiling behind you. Press both heels towards the mat and lift. Press both heels to the mat and lift. And one more time, both heels to the mat. Then lift and bring your knees to the mat. Stretch those feet, keep them lovely and long. Well done. Really, really nice. Breathe in, draw those abdominals in, tuck the tailbone under, arch your spine to the ceiling, one vertebra at a time. Keep reaching up, pressing the shoulder blades apart, the head hangs down to look at the top of your thighs. Keep pressing away from that mat, folks. And while you're still pressing away, relax through the abs and send your tailbone to the ceiling as you arch your spine bit by bit by bit down towards the mat. Excuse me. So your eye line comes up and your head faces forward. Some gorgeous shaping. Well done. And then find your midway point. If you're okay on your knees and your hands, Excuse me, folks. I think I've got an allergy to our silver birch. Take your leg out to the side, foot facing forward. I just want you to stretch back, draw the chest to the top of your thigh, and come forward. Come back, take your bottom behind your heel, draw the chest down towards your mat, come up, and then stretch forward. And then one more time, reach back, bottom to the one heel, stretch the chest, reach the chest towards the floor, and back up. Other knee to the floor, and the other leg comes out to side. Just a little hip opener here, and a stretch through the inner thigh. Take your bottom, I'll go sideways on. Take your bottom to the behind you, press your chest down towards the one thigh and down towards the mat, and come up and reach forward. One more, reach back, draw down for a deeper inner stretch. Folks, don't forget you can take that leg wider. Few breaths there, and come up, and the other knee down. Now I'm going to go diagonally, otherwise I will kick myself on what my mother calls my transformer. Hasn't failed to stop amusing me that this afternoon. Okay, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. We're going to go straight into single arm, single leg. So I want you to reach the right hand, and the left leg out. Reach, reach, reach. Draw the abdominals into the spine. Send that arm and leg up and lower and come back in. Go on the other side. Now, when you're swapping, I did it badly because I haven't got a lot of space on this one, and lower. I want you to keep those hips lovely and still. Imagine you have a light, a torch shining from each of your hip bones. They are shining down to the mat. So keep going. I should be able to put a glass of my favorite tipple on the small of your back. It should stay there and back in. Although I did try that, didn't I, with the Cadbury's Cream Egg a while back, and it didn't work. Reach away and lower. I should be able to put your Pilates softball on your small of your back, and it should stay. Really nice. Keep going. I want to take a sneak peek to see how you're getting along. So keep the crown of the head reaching away, folks, and then feel that tailbone in the opposite direction. So you're drawing in opposite directions. That arm and leg is not just a lift, Catherine, you're reaching away. So what I want to see first, I'll go sideways on to show you. I want to see that leg almost come away first and then lift, not just go out and up. You reach, you elongate, and then you lift. The abs are drawn in. Balance up there. Then I want us to just add on another one, should you wish. I'm going to try and do a sideways on, but I won't get a full stretch here. So, in fact, I will. I'm going to open my double doors. There you go. So, we've got our hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. Breathe in, draw the abs in, make sure the shoulder blades are gliding down your back. On the out breath, we send our right arm and left leg away and lift. Now, when you're reaching away, take a breath in. And then on the out breath, I want you to bend the knee and the elbow underneath the torso. Scoop the belly button so you kind of arch up to the ceiling as you draw in. And you reach away. Go again on that one side. Breathe in on the out breath. Draw that elbow and knee underneath your torso. And reach away with control. We slow and come down. So I'm not doing lots of reps this evening. We're doing a few, get to the few little toughy ones, and then we move on. We go on the other side. So make sure you're in a lovely position first. Breathe in, draw the abs on the abs. You reach away. You reach, 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 and the arm and leg lift. You breathe in, then on the out breath, the knee and elbow come under. Draw those abs in and breathe. And go again. Draw that arm and leg in. Really nice, folks. And reach away. Come back on all fours. So let's bring all that together. We're going to alternate and then do one each of those scoops. So breathe in, draw the abs in. On the out breath, we send our right arm and left leg away. Reach first, folks, and then find the lift. Use those abdominals to keep your hips gorgeously still. And you lower and come back in. Opposite sides. Reach away. Arm and leg and reach, reach, reach. And lower. And come back to that starting position. And again, on the other side, breathe in on the out breath. You reach away. You reach up. Breathe in on the out breath. You scoop in. And reach away. You come down. And we go on the other side. You reach away, arm and leg. Reach, reach, reach away. Breathe in on the out breath. You scoop. Draw in. Reach away. Gorgeous control. You lower and you come back in. Let's go into another cat-cow there. Scoop the tailbone under. Draw the abdominals to your spine. Arch your spine to the ceiling. Allow the head to drop down. Breathe in on the out breath, go in the other direction, but starting with your tailbone, shoulder blades glide down your back, head looks to the front. Lovely. And find the midway point. Now we'll go a little bit into our triceps if your wrists will allow. So you're in this box position. You can go and bring your elbows on the floor and press up. Making sure your elbows come right underneath your shoulder blades. I think I would rather, and you're all capable of coming over into your half plank. Just make sure that when those elbows bend, they bend into your waist. The feeling of space between your shoulder blades and as they glide down your back, crown of your head reaching away. Breathe in, scoop those abdominals, draw them in, stay strong. Really nice. Now on your next in-breath, we're going to come down. Breathe out to come up. Breathe in to come down. And this is the speed we're going. Breathe out to come up. We're going to do 3 more. We're working the triceps here. Obviously, we're also working hard into our shoulders. Breathe out as you come up. And we'll do a few other little triceps in a different position in a while. And press up. Now keep your hands on the mat. Take your tailbone and your bottom towards your heels. Reach away, stretch through those arms. Really press your chest down and get a gorgeous stretch. Hopefully keep the arms nice and long. Feel as if the hands are glued to the mat and maybe draw away a little bit as well as pressing down for a little stretch. Lovely. Let's come over onto our bottoms. So come to the ends of your mat. Maybe have your bands. If you've all got bands, we may use a little bit of band work here as well. So it's a move you know, but as we're doing some arm work, I think it'd be quite nice. So I want you to have your knees bent at first as we go into some carrying on with the arm work and then going into coming slowly down to the floor. So first, the one hand, let me put my feet further away. One hand behind and then the other. Now in doing this, it's quite gorgeous because you're drawing the shoulder blades together and getting that lovely stretch across the front of your chest. Okay, now to start, we're just gonna bend those elbows. I want the whole underside of your hand on the mat. So the palms of your hand right through to your fingertips, shoulders away from your ears. Make sure your feet are quite away from your bottom. I don't want your knees totally bent, just out a little ways and press up. Now, when you press up, I really want you to push as if you're pushing, like your torso is made of cement and you're pushing that torso up. So really lean your torso into your hands. You will feel that work into your triceps. Now, I did quite a bit of I didn't do tricep work deliberately on the reformer yesterday. I was doing a shoulder work wrong, but did really great work into my triceps. So let's see if we can go up. You can stick with this, but if you're doing this, really imagine that your torso is like a block of concrete. Or you can come with me, but we'll only do 10, I promise. So breathe in, draw the abs in, we lift the bottom off the floor. Bend your elbow so the bottom comes towards the mat. It may brush the mat slightly, that's okay. And press up. Don't press with your feet. Just keep those feet lovely and light and it's your arms as the elbows bend behind that are doing the work. So there are two versions there. You can keep your buttocks on the mat, or you can come and raise your buttocks and lower, leaning back into the hands a little bit, folks, keeping the feet light. Let's do 5 more, slowing them down. We feel them when they're slow as well. And 4 more. Keep those abs drawn in, and 3, and 2, and 1. Cheeky, bring your glutes to the floor. Bring the soles of your feet together. Allow the knees to externally rotate your hips as they come out. Can bring your head towards your feet and your forearms on your shins. And breathe. Really nice. Come and sit up. Bring your feet out to the front. Bring your hands behind again and take your legs long. There is space between both your feet. I want you to press into the mat with the whole underside of your hands. Shoulder blades are drawing together. Breathe in, draw the abs in, and we press out into an upward plank. So look at us with both planks this evening, folks. Few more breaths for 5 and 4. Keep the shoulders away from your ears. Keep drawing the belly button to your spine, but also push your butt up or press your hips up. 2 and 1 and down. Nice work. Let's release out through the triceps. Let's bring one arm up and stretch. Anyone feeling that this evening? You're working through our triceps and your shoulders, Julia. Reach the arms away and come back in on the other side. Nice work. What's that? I can hear the abs calling. Let's go in. Let's start first with some little spinal articulation. If you've got your band, let's take our bands. Pop the band around our feet. Bend your knees. Relax through the legs. Scoop through the abs. Come onto your tailbone. We want to create these gorgeous C shapes in our spine. So bring our shoulders forward and tip back, using our band to support us as we land one vertebra at a time. Taking your time, really feeling that through the head till you come down and bring your head to the mat. Breathe in on the out breath, the head lifts, the shoulders reach towards the thighs. Keep breathing and we scoop forward, 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 forward. Really nice. And let's do that again. Breathe in, draw back onto the spine. Bring the abdominals in towards the spine. Sorry, draw those abs, scoop through those abs. Draw your shoulders towards the top of your thighs. Keep them away from your ears. So I don't want to be seeing this. We draw them forward and we tip the whole of our torso back. We use that band, but we take our mind-body connection through our hips. Then just above our hips into our lumbar. Can you get all your lumbar or some of your lumbar at least on the mat? Then to the mid-back. Keep reaching those elbows, shoulders forward as we go through the thoracic, all the way up. Feel your shoulder blades come onto the mat, your shoulders and the back of your head. We're going to do that in a little while without the band. So enjoy the feeling and the feedback of your spine with the band. Breathe in, lift the head and shoulders. Bring your chin to your chest. Look down towards your belly button. Scoop through those abs, and on the next out breath, let's see if you can roll up a little bit more, a little bit more. Take your time, take your time. You've got the band there to help you. Roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. Anyway, see, there you go. I've ruined this recording to share already. Come up onto your sit bones, shoulder blades drawn together. Send the legs long. Draw the knees together, knees and ankles together. Feel that connection between your feet and the inner thighs. Take the band in the one hand, draw the abs in, scoop up over an imaginary beach ball on your lap, and use the band to really draw forward for a gorgeous spine stretch. Draw forward with each breath. And hold it there. You can hold your stretch here when you've got the band, and it's glorious. Breathe. Release the band and walk back up to sitting. While we've got the band there, let's not lose the opportunity to get, one of my favorite little twists, the spinal rotation, but also let's first do a little bit of bicep work. So what I want you to do is hold the band quite tight. It's actually more effective if you can wrap the band around your hand a little bit, around your hands. And then I want you to really draw your feet together, draw the abs in, so we've got these lovely straight spines and gorgeous postures. Okay, the palms are facing you, our upper arms are parallel with the mat. So I don't want your elbows down here, out here. I want them out in front, in line with your shoulders. And then we're going to stretch our hands, palms up. Bling it out, Julie. How heavy are those weights? And bring those arms back. Shoulders away from our ears. Now, doing these bicep curls in this position, we're really not just working our biceps. We're challenging our whole posture because our abs are drawn in. Our shoulder blades are drawing together. We don't want any movement. We don't want to be leaning back. We don't want to be leaning forward. We want to stay upright. We want those arms to reach away as we draw those bands in and reach. Keep those elbows elevated and in the same position. For another 3, reach those arms away, bend in for 2. And 1. Gorgeous work, and down and release. We cross the band. So Julie, if you don't have the band, do the prayer position. We're going to go into rotation. Hold the band if you've got it. Cross it over at your feet. Shoulder blades drawn together. You breathe in on the out breath. I want you to draw the band away with one arm, the arm coming side of your torso, and you rotate to the side. Come back to the front. Draw the other elbow alongside your torso until your fist is the same distance as your hip. Then I want you to rotate in the waist and come back to the front. Breathe in. I want you to draw up, and I always say keep going, reach that rib cage up out of your waist, but also think to the crown of the head. So you're staying long. So with every rotation and twist, you feel almost like a corkscrew. You're coming up a little bit higher out of your waist and a little bit higher. And again, if you want, when you turn, you can turn your head a little and look over your shoulder. So you're getting a little bit of a neck mobility work going on as well. Couple more times, folks. I'm going to take a little look to see how you're doing. So the crown of the head lifted, chin's parallel with the floor. Breathe in, bring the rib cage up out of your waist like a corkscrew, a corkscrew. You rotate, and you almost rotate and come up. Crown of the head lifting away. Really, really nice. Draw that arm back. Keep the elbow in, Catherine. Keep the elbow alongside the torso. Couple more times, or balance up there. Lovely, lovely work. Now we're going to say goodbye for a little second to the trusty band, because it's time for a little bit of ab work. And I personally loved our ab routine on Thursday. We did just over 15 minutes, and I thought it flew by. So, and I know you all did too who attended. Keep your feet away from your glutes. Your knees and your feet are hip width apart, and your arms are out front, shoulders away from your ears, palms facing each other. Now we're going to roll down, folks. You can hold behind your thighs, okay? It's not cheating or anything. It's just a modification. See how you feel. Most important thing is to keep that C shape. Bring your shoulders towards the top of your thighs. So we breathe in, draw the abs in. Draw, 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 come onto your tailbone. Still staying on your tailbone, you're looking forward. Come onto your hips. Reach the arms away if they're reaching out, and feel as if somebody's pulling them away from you. So your upper body's reaching away, but the lower back is rolling into the mat. So you've got this lovely oppositional work going on to get as much mobility and articulation through the spine. You come down bit by bit. Now we're going to layer on. You can come up. And we do this loads. You can come up as we normally do in this position, hands behind your thighs or arms over your head. Or we're going to do it more, it's called the neck pull. You interlace your hands, or well, actually don't interlace your hands. Pop your hands behind your back, and I want you to see your elbows in your peripheral vision. If you interlace your hands, you'll start pulling on your neck, and I don't particularly want that. But we will come up a little bit differently because we bring our chins to our chest. Now, before we move, I want you to reach your feet away. I want you to be in a dorsiflexion. I want you to flex your foot and press your heels away from you, so your legs feel as long as they can be, and bring your feet, your legs together. Now, if it's more comfortable or you're tight in the hips, you can have a little space between your legs, okay? I want you to breathe in, draw those abdominals in, and on the out breath, I want you to lift your head and bring your chin to your chest, drawing the abs in. Now, because I'm talking, we're going to come up in 2 phases, but on the next one, we'll come up in 1 out breath. Breathe in again, draw those abs in. And I want you to come up, and scoop, scoop, curl up, all the way up, all the way up. Keep curling the spine, curl it forward, forward. Keep it in this lovely position as you come over your legs. Stay there so I can take a look how you are. Really nice. Don't pull on your heads, folks. Keep those elbows a bit wider. Breathe in. Keep those heels reaching away and that strength going down through the legs as you scoop through those abs on the in-breath, and on the out-breath, we roll back down. Don't pull on the head. You can rest your head a little bit in your hands on the way down. Go down nice and slowly. Keep reaching those legs away as you come down. Head comes onto the mat. You breathe in. On the out-breath, you scoop up a chin to chest, and you really, really reach forward. Get this gorgeous articulation through the spine that we've just been working on, and really working those abs. And you come forward and sit up. Arms out to the front, knees bent. Breathe in, draw the abs in. We're going to come down. But before our shoulders hit the mat, we're going to bring our right knee in. Send the other leg long. Now, I don't want your leg parallel with the floor. I want it up a little bit higher. And I want you to really focus on having no rocking move through the hips whatsoever. So the leg's a little bit higher. You're in a neutral span and the abs are drawn in. Okay, and your one leg is quite high. Draw the one knee in and try and feel it. See if you can lift your shoulders and head a little bit higher off the mat. Chin actually down towards your chest, and you're looking at your belly buttons. You breathe in and you swap, and you go the speeds and swap. Now, I want you to feel your hips. I want you to take your mind-body connection as you keep swapping and really making sure that there is no movement in those hips. Your abs are keeping them in place. As we do another 6 of these, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Now your one leg is out long, the other knee is in. Take the hands behind your head, elbows in your peripheral vision. Now we're going to bring the elbow over to that opposite knee, but our hips again, our abs are drawn in, and we keep those hips lovely and still. So the rotation is in our waist. So I almost want you to feel you're bringing the underside armpit over the body instead. So you come over, moving the waist, the hips don't move, and swap, but swap slowly. So your hips don't move, they're equal weight on both sides of your hips. And you swap, really draw the armpit over. And again on the other side. Is anyone feeling this? Keep drawing that elbow over, 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 the armpit, over, over, over. Reach the leg away and go again on the other side. Keep going. We're going to do 6 more. So draw those shoulders off the floor, folks. Reach that armpit over to the opposite hip, but keep those hips lovely and still. As we do another 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Bring the head to the floor. Bring your knees into your chest. Circle them around. Anyone feel that? Should be, or I hope, quite a nice, powerful piece of ab work. Let's circle those knees in the other direction. And again, I don't do hundreds of reps of those. I think that's fine. What I do want you to do, and I'm going to have to go to the end of my mat to do this, I want us to have our arms by the side and take our legs up. And now I want you to use your abs if you can. I want you to breathe in, and on the out breath, you lift your tailbone up off the mat and curl it over. You want to lift like your legs towards the ceiling. And they come over behind you. Watch the back of your neck. Reach your legs away. Now you can curl your toes under and bring them to the floor should you wish. But otherwise, you can keep those toes pointed and the legs parallel to the floor. And take a few breaths in. Then bend your elbows so they're anchored onto the floor. Pop your hands underneath your hips. We want to bring one leg up and then the other. We're going to do scissors from this position. And you scissors, draw those abs in and up and swap and up. Now our range of movement is going to be governed by our mobility, of course, but I want you to use your legs. Keep the abs, keeping the hips lovely and stable, and the legs mobilizing in your hips. We're going to do another 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Really nice. Now, bring the legs back over. Take the arms long out the other side again, palms facing down. You can press into that mat with the hands as we bring our legs up. And I want you to roll the spine back down onto the mat. So draw those abs in to keep those legs lovely and stable and roll your vertebra. I don't think I may have said abs, but roll your vertebra back to your spine back onto the mat and your knees are bent. Really lovely work. We're just going to do one other little piece of ab work there. So just both feet on the floor, feet and knees hip width apart, arms by your side. I'm going to take one leg up and then the other leg up. Now I want you to take hold of your right leg. I want you to walk up your right calf. So your head and shoulders are off the mat, legs and feet lovely and long. And we're just going to drop one leg and swap and swap. Now, don't forget that it depends on how your hamstrings are here. So just make sure we focus on quality. So the shoulders and head lifted, the legs lovely and long, and using your abs to bring those legs back up for another 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Bend your knees, head to the mat. Circle your knees in the same direction. Massaging the lower back in the mat and back around the other way. Take one foot to the floor, then the other. Bring your knees, ankles, and feet together, arms out to the side. Breathe in, draw the abs in on the out breath. Drop your knees over to the right. Keep both shoulder blades on the mat, folks. Rotation all in your waist. Turn your head to look at the other hand if it's comfy. Breathe in, use those abs on the out breath. Bring the knees up. Take them over the other side. Turn your head to look at the other hand. Really nice. We're not going to bring the knees up there. If you can face the screen, bring the other arm over. We're going to come over onto our side. So we're just going to release out in the shoulders. Now you can use a block and a long arm if you wish, but we're just going to do closed book. So I want you to lie on your one arm, bring the other elbow on top. The knees are out at 90 degrees. Your hips, knees, and ankles are still lovely and stacked. I want you to breathe in on the out breath, lift that top elbow, the eye line following that elbow, the rotation in your waist. Keeping your eye on that elbow as you draw it back to feel a lovely stretch around the underside, I hope, of your shoulder. Now take a few breaths in there and try and look at that shoulder for a little neck stretch as well. Couple more breaths. Close your books and do one more. So you breathe in and reach up on the out breath. Draw the elbow behind, eye line following your elbow. And with each breath, allow gravity to draw your arm towards the floor. It won't touch the floor, or it should do. It may do, depends on your rotation and obviously the movement in your shoulder. And then back. Really, really nice. Let's get a stretch while we're here in our quads. Lift your one leg up, the top leg up. Hold onto your ankle. Draw the knee behind you. Don't pull on that foot. I always nag. Press your hips forward. So your hips are pressing forward and your knee is pressing back. You should feel a stretch, maybe just up in the flexors, maybe all the way down the quads, or wherever you're feeling particularly tight. Just keep drawing the knee back, never force, and keep breathing. Really nice. Lovely. Let's come up into mermaid and arm up, just one each side. We want to swap over, and it's a bit rude not to do a little side, then legs the other way, come onto the other side. I know what you're thinking. What about my glutes? I know, we will get there. Okay, what were we doing? We were in closed book, legs out at 90, knees out at 90 degrees. Don't forget, keep those hips, knees, and ankles stacked. Bring your elbows together. Breathe in, draw the abs in on the out breath, reach that elbow up. And take it behind you, rotating in the waist, turning your head to look at that elbow. And take a few breaths there. Really try and reach that elbow away. Really allow it to feel as if it's drawing down towards the floor. And come back. And we do that in your own time, but one more time. So close your book. Breathe in, engage your abdominals, folks. And on the out breath, take the elbow up. Eye line following the elbow, the rotation in your waist. Reach back, back, back. Allow the release through your shoulder. Maybe even turn the head a little bit more for a release through your neck. Few more breaths. And back. Lift that top leg. Take hold of the lower shin and the ankle. Draw the knee behind first. If you're feeling just a bit of a stretch after a few breaths, or you want more of a stretch, press your hips forward. Press your pelvis forward, tuck your tailbone under. Keep drawing your knee behind you, the hand just holding the foot and leg in place. Enjoying that stretch, breathe into it. Lower your knee a bit for me, Paula, just a tiny bit, that's him. And draw it behind you with the breath then. Nice. Few more breaths. Release and back. We're going to come back over onto all fours. Walk the hands in and come up onto our knees. So we're going to come into a little variation of our knee lift here. So I want you to take the right leg out. Now, normally I have the foot facing. I want you to point that foot away. I'm just figuring out my room here. I want you to draw the abs in. And when you look to the side, I want your shoulder, your hip, knee, and ankle all in glorious alignment. You could almost feel as if you could fit between two panes of glass. You breathe in on the out breath. We bring this arm over. And I've said this before. If that feels too much, you can, I think a yoga block may be a bit too high to say, you can, if you're feeling stiff or whatever, you can always pop your hand on a block, okay? So there is a little option there. Don't just use a cushion though, I don't think it'll be stable enough. Hand behind your head. Now, we want to use those abs to stay in place, okay? Elbow in your peripheral vision. Stay lovely and strong on this underside arm. Really elongate this leg out of the joint, and we're going to lift and lower, lift and lower. Now, this is a really powerful exercise for stability, balance, coordination, but of course, we're also working through our abductors and through our obliques as well. So keep those abs drawn in. Obviously, we're working our abs as well. Now, your leg doesn't have to come up as high as your hip. We certainly don't want it higher than your hip joint, but whichever height you bring your leg, Make that consistent for each lift for you. Let's do 5 more. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Now I'm going to make it gentler because it's hot this evening. We're then going to come on to all fours. We've also done quite a bit of shoulder work. So knees underneath your hips, hands underneath your shoulders. I want you to lift this knee and I want us to circle around. So the same leg, let the knee, it's almost like the knee has a pencil on the end and you're drawing a big circle with the knee. And we're going to do another 3. Keep those abs lovely and stable for 2. And 1. And we're going to go 5 the other way, folks. Stay strong through your arms. We circle. Keep those abs lovely and strong. Hips lovely and stable because those abs are keeping them in place. As we do 3. And 2. And 1. Knee down. Now we're in this position and it's a big, big shame if we don't do a couple of little donkey kicks. I wouldn't sleep tonight, folks. So the hips facing the mat, lovely and squished, shoulders lovely and strong, crown of the head reaching away. I want you to flex that foot, same leg, flex the foot. We draw up, we lead with the heel as we reach up. You want your knee to come in line ideally with your hip. And as you do that, you want to squeeze your buttock. Let's go. We're going to do 10 of these. So let's do another 6. And 5. Nice and slow again. And 4. I know you're all excited because you know we're going to do some pulses. And 3. And 2. And 1. Keep that heel strong, reaching to the ceiling. And we pulse at our end of range there, folks. Squeeze the glute and we pulse. Pulse. Now, I don't want to bring the knee down and up. That's not pulsing. We're pulsing up at the end of range. We're squeezing our butt and our butt's like, okay, I'm feeling that now, which is good because we're going to do another 10. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as we pulse. 4, 10, 9. Stay strong through your torso, everyone. Arms nice and long. 4, 6, 5, 4, and 3, 2, 1. And lower. Walk the hands back up to your knees. Tuck the tailbone under and we restack in the spine. Draw the shoulder blades back and down. Let's circle through the wrists one way and the other. Cheeky work this evening, well done. I'm going to come to the other side of my mat to get this pin out to the side. Really nice. So we're swapping the leg. Don't forget this time, I want us to almost face the inside thigh facing forward. Okay, because we want our work to go into the abductor here. So arms out to the side. Reach away, take a look down. Are you going to fit between 2 panes of glass? Let's tip over onto that hand. Other hand on your head. Keep reaching that leg away, pointing that toe away. We lift up and we lower. We lift and we lower. Abs drawn in, stay stable. No wobbles. Keep that coordination. You're being held here by your gorgeous shoulder and pelvic girdle strength, those glorious abs, while we do a little bit of workout through the obliques and the abductors. Let's go. 4, 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. We come over onto all fours. Stay strong through our hands that are underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. We lift that leg, that working leg, and we circle. For some reason, I've gone in the opposite circle direction than I started on the other side. Never mind. Doesn't matter because we're doing both ways as we do another 3 and 2. That pencil on the end of the knee making a really gorgeous big circle, and another 1. Let's go the other way, we circle. And again, lovely forward hip health here, lovely mobility work. It's also working the rest of us, right? Another 2. Really lovely, folks. Well done. And 1. We pop that knee on the floor, but not for long. We want to make sure we're set through the torso, abs engaged, foot flexed. Let the heel lead the way as you take it to the ceiling and lower. Take that foot to the ceiling and lower. Get that heel up as far as you can, no higher than your hip, and squeeze into your buttock. Let's go for 6. Slow it down, go with me for 5. Lift up, keep those abs drawn in, folks. Let's keep really strong through our torso. Press away from the mat. Stay strong through the shoulders for another 3, 2. This time it comes up. Keep it up there. And we pulse. Glorious pulsing, foot flexed. Heel reaching to the ceiling. As we pulse, keep pulsing and try and engage that glute. Abs drawn in to keep your hips as stable and square as you can. As we do 10 more pulses, you've got this. Keep going. For 9, 8. Pulse, pulse, pulse. You've got it. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. We're going to come onto our bottoms. Let's go straight into some little bridges there. Release out through our hips. So lie on your backs. Your hips and your shoulder blades and your shoulders are in contact with the mat. Your feet are lovely and melting into the mat. Your feet and ankle and knees are hip width apart. Breathe in on the out breath. Draw those abs in. They've still got some juice. I know they have. And go into flat back. Breathe in, take the tailbone on the out breath off the mat and start peeling your spine off the ceiling, off the floor, 1 vertebra at a time. Pressing those hips to the ceiling using your buttocks, your glutes, and your abdominal strength. Give them a little squeeze, and I know they'll be firing. I just saw them. Make sure your big toes are in contact with the mat. Your arms are reaching away and light on the mat. Are you still drawing those sit bones together? Squeeze your buttocks, lift those hips to the ceiling. And on your next out breath, release through the shoulder blades. Allow your spine to come in contact with the mat. And then roll down all the way, 1 vertebra at a time. Come into neutral spine, bring your arms out to the side, cross your right leg over your left, draw your left knee over to the right, using that right leg to get a little bit more of a articulation there through the hip, and turn your head to look at the other hand if it's comfortable. Make sure that both shoulder blades are melting into the mat. Allow that right leg to feel heavy on the outside of your left knee and feel a lovely stretch. I hope it's lovely anyway, through your hip. Few more breaths in, bring the knee up. Let's take those knees over to the other side. Let's see how that feels. So we bring those crossed knees over to the other side and turn your head to look at the other hand. And take a few breaths in there. Bring the knees up, both feet to the floor. Take your left leg over your right. Draw the knees over towards your left and turn your head to look at the right hand. Allow the left leg to feel heavy on your outside of your right knee, and allow it with each breath to draw the knee gently and with mobility, within your mobility and range of movement, a little bit closer to the floor, keeping your shoulder blades on the mat. Breathe into it, folks, a few more breaths. Really nice. Use your abs, bring those knees up. We're going to roll them over to the other side. Turn your head to look at the other hand. And bring your knees up. And we're going to come over onto our front. I think I can just, oh, it's 9 o'clock. I'm not going to come over onto our front. We're going to have to do a little, we've done some lovely stretches across our pecs. We're going to come, take the hands in the crease of our knees, and we're going to rock up to sit in. And we're going to close out there. Really nice. So you can cross your legs. You can have your legs long. For me, I find it comfortable with my feet together, but I've noticed in my face-to-face classes, people struggle in this position a little bit sometimes to have their sit bones nice and even. So wherever's comfortable for you, let's stretch across the upper back here. Interlace your hands, reach away, allow your shoulder blades to expand. Take your head to look at your feet or the ground down there in between your hands, and keep reaching away. Then keep reaching the arm and undo the arms and reach them away and out, and interlace behind and reach them behind. So we're stretching those arms out behind us, chins parallel to the floor, and breathe. And then bring the hands back in front. If you've crossed your legs, cross them the other way. Interlace the hands, press the palms of the hands up to the ceiling, framing your head in your arms. And we're going to keep those arms lovely and long and do some little circles as we polish the underside of our halos this evening. That time just flew for me. I know you were all clock watching, because I do when I'm in a Pilates class. But really great work this evening, folks. Reach the arms away. Palms facing down, take the right ear to the right shoulder. Few breaths in. Let's turn your head to look at your shoulder. And look out to the front and back up, and left ear to left shoulder. Few breaths in there. Turn your head to look at that shoulder. And bring the head back up. Take a lovely breath into the rib cage. As you breathe out, turn your head, look over one of your shoulders. And take a lovely breath into the rib cage. And on the other breath out through the mouth, turn your head all the way to look over the other shoulder. Breathe in, and on the out breath, look to the front. Turn your palms to the ceiling. Let's go into a single diaphragm breath before we close this evening. Reach away and take that breath through the nose right into the pits of your abdominals. Reach up, bring the hands together, breathe out through the mouth, taking that air all the way out from the pits of your belly, all the way out through your body. And then take your next breath into your rib cage and breathe out. Feel the rib cage expand as you breathe in, and come back in as you breathe out. Couple more of those gorgeous thoracic breaths, and then take your breath back to your own personal breathing pattern and rhythm. Take the shoulders away from your ears, and you're done. Thank you so much, everyone.